Here's your host, Clay Nelson.
Hey, hi, this is Clay of Clay Nelson Life Balance, and you're listening to the radio show called The Art of Listening on KZSB AM 1290. So welcome to the show. Now, listening, boy, it's an art. Let me tell you, I've been working on listening for quite some time, and I've got some experience to talk to you about that. Listening, you know, it's in today's fast-paced world, a lot of times we hear stuff, a great deal of stuff's happening around us, but are we really listening to it? Is it something that we're really present to? You know, is there some sort of a indicator that says we're really hearing what's being said? And most of the time, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I can only speak for me, maybe a little bit for you all, but for me, I only hear a small portion of what's really said to me, and I teach listening. So it's like I have to get really present. One of the things I do is, it's kind of a saying I have, is my brain has to be present to where my feet are. If my brain is present to where my feet are, I'm really present to whoever I'm with, right, Susan?
That's true.
Yeah. So it's like the truth is that we actively listen to people around us, but we're not really present all the time. So think about it. You know, what happens when we're not present? And people that are speaking to us, they get a sense that, you know, I'm speaking to you, but you're not really home in the cabeza. I'm really clear. What I'm saying is not going anywhere, or I can see in your eyes that you're developing something to say back to me, so you're really not hearing all of what I'm saying. And I know we've all been there. We've all done that, all right? So think about this. If we could be really present every time somebody said something to us, all right? Or every time somebody looked at us and smiled, or really present each time you got a hug, how about that? All right? You know, there's all kinds of communications. There's hugs, there's eye contact, there's body English, there's language, there's singing, there's whistling, there's just going, There's various sounds that come out of the throat. And it has all kinds of meanings. And you need to really listen to where it's coming from to find out what the real meaning is. How many times have you listened to your kids and they walked away after they said what they said, and you go, wait a minute, excuse me, where are they going? What are they doing? What'd they say? What'd they ask me? Did I say yes? Gee, I wonder how I know that, you know? So it's all about getting really squared away around who do I have to be a good listener? And the key is I have to be present to the person that's speaking to me. Now, think about this. I've been a business coach, a telephone coach, someone that listens to people on the phone for now 24, 25 years, all right? You know, give or take a few decades. All I'm saying is, did you guys hear that joke? You guys hear that? All right, now, so it's all about getting straight around. You have to really listen to really hear what's really coming across. You know, people can say words, but what they're really saying, sometimes you get in how you hear what they're saying, their tone of voice, all right, how loud they're speaking, you know, how they avoid things, all kinds of things. So you get to be a real effective listener. Now, in my office window looks out over a beautiful valley. And that valley's got birds of prey, it's got skunks, it's got all kinds of animals. I've seen a couple of coyotes. I've seen my cats going, oh my God, I'm going to die. Here comes a coyote. I've seen all kinds of things happen. And I'll be on the phone sometimes, and I'll just check out and just go with whatever my eyes see. And I'll be listening to whoever's speaking on the phone, but I don't really hear what they say. So what do you do when that kind of thing happens? You know, when you really just check out. You know, most people check back in and hope they can catch up to someplace along the line before the phone call's over or before the speaker stops speaking, all right? But one of the things I've learned to do, and this is one of the tools I'm going to give you early in today's conversation, is you need to be the truth. Just say, you know, I checked out. I'm human. I lost you at about this point, and now I'd like to go back and pick up there again because I didn't hear you. Now, I've been telling folks the truth about me checking out, going out and looking in my valley of animals and, quite frankly, looking at nature instead of being on the phone with all the people and all the problems, which is human. And when I check out, I just tell them, hey, I checked out. And, you know, I've never been fired. I've never lost a client. I've never had anybody say, you know, you're a toad. I pay you X number of dollars. You need to be present all the time. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We all check out. And we check out 10, 15, 20 times a day. We check out through half of a paragraph, no matter who's talking to us. We check out on phone calls. We check out in communication on birthdays. We check out on anniversaries.
Well,
you didn't check out this year, though.
No, I didn't check out.
No, you
I
did
did.
not.
Oh, I got
You
a whole
did really
story.
good.
No,
You did
I
really
got.
good.
I did. Pat me on the head. Go, good boy. Here you go.
Hey, we are all human, and when this conversation stops being about ourselves, I mean, hey. No.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I want to talk about today too
kidding.
that's going on in the world, in Santa Barbara, in various cities across the world, in Peoria, Illinois, in a lot of where my clients are, is what's happening with kids. And what's happening with the kids getting hurt, what's happening with the kids killing each other, what's happening in gang violence, what's happening, all kinds of things that I'm going to bring up today. So I want you to really be listening to this show, because the answer to all of it, the answer to eliminating gang violence, the answer to eliminating upsets between you and your offspring, the answer to eliminating miscommunication and no communication is effective listening. So today's show is going to be all about listening. Next week's show is going to be all about family meetings. The following week's show is going to be all about full and complete communication. And then that last show, the fourth show out, is going to be how do we put it all together? How do we put a plan that's best for us, that lives in communication and accountability? And how do we build a great family from being it? I mean, you all better get ready to rock and roll and listen to my show, because here we go. Okay?
Well, Clay, we got an email from Lori.
Yeah.
And she says, my sister-in-law has one volume when she talks, or should I
this
say,
is good, yeah.
yells at her children.
Yeah.
And she says it's annoying, and it's clear that her children don't even listen to what she's saying. Could you please address what consistently yelling at children, or anyone for that matter, does to their listening?
Well, that's really
That's a good
easy.
place
I
to
can tell
start,
you
yeah.
right now, if you speak loud enough to where people are avoiding what you're saying, or you don't have to say anything after a while. If your loudness is a part of who they know you to be, they won't listen to you at all. It won't even get started. What they'll do is they'll look at you, but really they've shut their minds off, because the pain of how you address or how you deliver what you're going to say is far greater than what you say. All right? Now, the art of listening is also, there's some responsibility in how you listen. There's also some responsibility in how you speak. If you speak to someone in a way that they don't want to listen, who's responsible? Them or you, the speaker?
Well, the speaker
See, and the
would be
truth is, the speaker is responsible. So the speaker is always responsible for what the listener gets. Now, I'm going to have to go on a break in a minute. And when I come back, we're going to really start talking about, what happens when effective listening isn't worked on. What happens when we, all of us human beings, what do we do when we're all sitting in the same room listening to the same speech, but we're all getting different things? Well, how does that happen? Why does that happen? What are the filters of listening? What are the filters of how we hear things? What is life experience? What is tone? What is, in your email, Susan, it says, what is yelling at people? And then I'm also going to talk about an experiment I did on our anniversary night that I was just blown away. After living with you for 30 years, I was just blown away about when I actually focused on you, all of me, 100% focused on you, how it lit you up.
You did such a nice
so
job.
cool. All right. Now, you're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290. If you want to get a hold of me, call me at, if you're streaming, call me at 866-564-1290. Or local, you can do 564-1290. Or like everybody else is doing, we've gotten about 15 emails already. Email me at clay@mediasb.com. And you can stream in from my website. And we've got some other stuff going on that we call, I think it's called live streaming or something that they're working on. This is the test show where people are going to actually be able to see what we're doing. So come on back here. Technology's everywhere. We're having some fun. Get on back.